The galaxy's long peace was considered a masterpiece of governance, an achievement unmatched in the annals of interstellar history. For 3,000 years, the Council of Celestial Harmony ruled with a meticulous balance of power. The great empires had ceded their autonomy to an intricate web of treaties, enforced by unyielding laws. To the countless species under the Council's sway, peace had become synonymous with survival. Yet beneath this harmony lay a simmering discontent. The Xerix Dominion, a species bred for conflict, had always chafed under the Council's rule. Their history was a saga of conquest, their culture forged in the crucible of endless war. For them, peace was a prison, a state of stagnation that dulled the edge of their once proud legacy. Publicly, they adhered to the Council's edicts. Privately, their forges burned hotter than ever, crafting weapons in secret, while their leaders whispered of the glory that had been stolen from them. In contrast stood humanity, the galaxy's newest participant in this grand experiment. Barely 3 centuries into their membership, the humans were an enigma. They fulfilled their obligations to the Council with an almost casual indifference, their representatives more likely to offer quips than impassioned speeches. To the elder species, humans seemed irreverent, unpredictable, even unserious. What the Council failed to grasp was that humanity's levity was a mask, one honed by millennia of surviving their own planet's chaotic history. During the latest Council summit, the tension was palpable. Delegates from hundreds of species gathered in the luminous Hall of Accord, a structure carved into the heart of a neutral star system. The Xerix representative, Warlord Kothrak, towered above the others, his bioengineered frame a testament to his people's martial prowess. His voice resonated with barely restrained anger as he addressed the assembly. For too long, we have been shackled by laws that strip us of our strength. Peace is a lie, a state imposed by the weak to pacify the strong. The Xerix were forged to conquer, not to wither in mediocrity. His words sent a ripple through the chamber. Most species averted their eyes, unwilling to provoke the infamous warriors. The humans, however, were an exception. Maria Kent, humanity's ambassador, leaned back in her seat, a faint smirk playing on her lips. Her relaxed posture was an affront in a room where decorum reigned supreme. Ambassador Kent kissed a delegate from the aquatic Arythan species, her bioluminescent tendrils flickering with agitation. Surely humanity has something to say about such inflammatory rhetoric? Maria straightened, her expression unreadable. She met Kothrak's fiery gaze with calm resolve. The Xerix speak boldly, as always. But let's not pretend this is about strength or legacy. What you're really asking is this: are we all ready to go back to killing each other? A murmur spread through the chamber. Maria's tone was light, almost playful, yet her words carried an undeniable weight. She let the silence linger before continuing. If war is what you want, then say it plainly. Don't dress it up as a noble pursuit. Call it what it is, a gamble. A dangerous one. Kothrak snarled, his predatory instincts flaring. You would dare lecture the Xerix on war, human? Your species knows nothing of what we have endured. Maria's smile widened. Oh, I wouldn't say that. We've endured plenty. The difference is, we don't make it our whole personality. The room erupted in a cacophony of reactions, ranging from shocked gasps to muffled laughter. Kothrak's hands clenched into fists, his fury barely contained. But before he could respond, the council speaker, an ancient being of crystalline light, intervened. Order! This assembly will not devolve into chaos. The meeting adjourned with tensions higher than ever. Delegates dispersed, muttering about the inevitability of conflict. In private, Maria convened with her staff aboard the human delegation's sleek ship. The atmosphere was casual, almost jovial, despite the gravity of the situation. Think they'll actually do it? One aide asked, pouring a drink. Maria shrugged. The Xerix are predictable. They've been itching for a fight for centuries. The real question is, does the rest of the galaxy have the stomach for it? Another aide chimed in. If they break the peace, the council will collapse. Nobody's ready for a full-scale war, not even the Xerix. Maria's expression turned thoughtful. Maybe. Or maybe they're underestimating us. She gestured to the viewport, where Earth's distant light twinkled amidst the stars. The galaxy sees us as the joker in the room. But they don't know what we've been working on back home. They don't know how ready we are. Her words hung in the air like a promise, a quiet assurance that humanity had its own plans, ones the galaxy would not see coming. The galaxy woke to chaos. The Xerix Dominion's declaration of war was broadcast across every known communication channel, a stark ultimatum delivered in Warlord Tarek Val's deep, guttural tones. His visage dominated screens, his battle-worn features etched with contempt as he proclaimed the end of the Council's authority. For 3,000 years we have suffered under the yoke of cowardice, he snarled. No more. The Xerix reject the Council, reject its chains, and reject its lies. War is truth. War is strength. To those who will stand with us, you shall inherit glory. To those who oppose us, you will be nothing but ash. The transmission ended with an image of the Xerix fleet, a vast armada of warships bristling with weapons. It was a sight that struck fear into the hearts of every species watching. The fleet dwarfed anything the Council could muster, and the Xerix's reputation as warriors ensured that their threat was no bluff. Panic spread like wildfire. Worlds scrambled to shore up their defenses, while the Council convened emergency sessions to formulate a response. The Speaker, their normally serene form now fractured with stress, struggled to maintain order as delegates from across the galaxy shouted over one another. This is madness, a delegate cried. The Council's forces are no match for the Xerix. We must sue for peace immediately. Peace? Another retorted. They will not negotiate. We must fight. Amid the chaos, Maria Kent observed quietly, her expression inscrutable. She waited until the room fell into a reluctant silence before standing. Fellow delegates, let's take a breath, shall we? Panic won't help us. And frankly, either we're begging. Her calm tone cut through the tension, drawing the attention of the assembly. The Xerix have made their move, yes. But let's not forget, this isn't the first time they blustered about their strength. The difference now is that they think we're too weak to stop them. They think wrong. A Galara delegate, her translucent wings shimmering with unease, turned to Maria. Humanity speaks boldly for a species with no fleet in orbit. Do you not grasp the danger we face? Oh, we grasp it, Maria replied, her smile sharp. We just don't see the point in panicking about it. War is a human specialty, after all. The remark drew a mixture of disbelief and irritation from the other delegates. Humanity's flippant attitude had always been a source of frustration for the Council, but in this moment, it bordered on offensive. Yet Maria seemed unfazed. She leaned back in her chair, her tone turning conversational. The Xerix thrive on fear. They want us to tremble, to doubt ourselves. It's a strategy as old as conflict itself. The question is, are we going to play their game, or are we going to change the rules? The Speaker, desperate for unity, seized on Maria's words. Ambassador Kent, does humanity have a proposal? Maria's smile widened. Of course. The Xerix expect a fractured response. Let's give them the opposite. Call their bluff. Commit to the fight. And when the time comes, let humanity lead the charge. The suggestion was met with a chorus of objections. The idea of entrusting humans with the front line was ludicrous to most of the Council. Yet Maria's confidence planted a seed of doubt in their minds, a faint, reluctant hope that perhaps the humans knew something they did not. Meanwhile, on the outskirts of Xerix-controlled space, the first shots of the war were fired. The Xerix launched a lightning assault on the Idros system, a strategically vital trade hub. The Council's defenders, unprepared for the ferocity of the attack, were obliterated within hours. Reports described the Xerix fleet as a tidal wave of destruction, their tactics precise and ruthless. The devastation sent shockwaves through the Council. Meetings grew more frantic, alliances more tenuous. The galaxy's unity, already fragile, began to crack under the weight of fear. Yet amidst the despair, humanity remained a curious outlier. On Earth, preparations were quietly underway. Hidden within the depths of the planet's oceans, orbiting its moons, and cloaked in distant star systems, humanity's military forces mobilized. Ships emerged from their hidden shipyards, their designs sleek and unorthodox. Experimental technologies hummed to life, their capabilities known only to a select few. In a secure briefing room, Admiral Victor Harlan addressed a group of senior officers. The air was charged with anticipation as holographic projections of Zarek's fleet movements filled the room. "The Zareks think they've seen everything," Harlan began. "They think their weapons, their strategies, their bravado make them invincible. What they don't know is that humanity's been preparing for this moment since the day we joined the Council. They wanted peace? We gave them peace. But we never forgot how to fight." The officers nodded, their confidence unwavering. For centuries, humanity had studied the galaxy's powers, learning their strengths and exploiting their weaknesses. While the Council had grown complacent, humanity had honed its edge, anticipating the day peace would falter. Back in the galactic political arena, Maria Kent continued to play her part. Her words were carefully chosen, her demeanor deliberately relaxed. She knew the Council's members viewed humans as unpredictable, even reckless. What they didn't realize was that this perception was part of humanity's strategy, a way to mask their true intentions. As the Council debated endlessly, Maria delivered a parting message to the Assembly. "You can doubt us if you want. You can call us reckless, untested, whatever makes you feel better. But when the Zareks come for your worlds, you'll be glad we're on your side." With that, she departed, leaving the Council to wrestle with their fears. On her way back to the human delegation's ship, she spoke to her aide with quiet determination. "Let them fret. We've got this." The aide hesitated. "What if the Zareks really are stronger than we thought?" Maria's smile didn't falter. "Then we'll show them why it's a bad idea to underestimate humans." The Zarek's fleet hovered in the void, a monolithic wave of destruction poised to strike. Their command ship, Dominion's Wrath, served as both a symbol of their martial dominance and the heart of their operations. Warlord Tarek Val stood on the bridge, exuding confidence as his officers prepared for the next phase of their conquest. The recent victories had only fueled his ambition, and his sights were now set on humanity, a species he viewed as an inconsequential obstacle. "Are the humans ready to surrender yet?" Val growled, his voice dripping with disdain. An intelligence officer replied, "No, Warlord. Their forces remain in disarray. They've issued no formal response to our terms." Val sneered. "Typical. They're too arrogant to know fear. We'll educate them soon enough." As the Zareks prepared their assault, a series of human vessels emerged from the blackness of space, moving with unhurried precision. To the untrained eye, the ships appeared unremarkable, their sleek designs almost simplistic compared to the Zareks' heavily armored behemoths. Val's eyes narrowed. "Is this all they have to offer?" he muttered. "Pathetic." The human fleet held formation, their movements calm and deliberate. The Zareks viewed the lack of aggression as weakness, but within the human command ship, Resolute Horizon, Admiral Victor Harlan observed the battlefield with a calculating gaze. His demeanor was serene, almost casual, as though he were watching a rehearsal rather than the opening act of a galactic war. "Signals confirmed," a communications officer reported. "Zarek's fleet is locking weapons." Harlan leaned back in his chair, his voice even. "Good. Let them think they're in control." The Zareks struck first, their energy cannons lighting up the void in a cascade of destruction. The human fleet appeared to be outmatched, their ships taking evasive maneuvers that seemed desperate at first glance. But to the trained eye, there was precision in their chaos. The Zareks' weapons, designed to overwhelm brute force, found no purchase against the humans' adaptive shields and predictive algorithms. Then came the counterstrike. Without warning, the human ships launched their assault. Weapons that the galaxy had never seen before came to life. Space-time distortion cannons tore through the Zareks' ranks, ripping their ships apart without the need for physical contact. Swarms of autonomous drones swirled like locusts, bypassing shields and disabling key systems with surgical precision. Within moments, the balance of power shifted. The Zareks, so accustomed to dominating the battlefield, found themselves on the defensive. Their ships faltered, their formations crumbled, and chaos began to spread through their ranks. On the Dominion's wrath, Vol was seething. "What is this?" he bellowed, slamming a fist against the command console. "How are they doing this?" His officers scrambled for answers, their confidence eroded by the humans' unexpected strength. "Their technology, it's beyond anything we've seen," one stammered. "Our weapons can't penetrate their defenses." Vol's fury turned to desperation as he realized the truth. The humans had been preparing for this. The species he had dismissed as insignificant had outmaneuvered him at every turn. And they were not just fighting, they were enjoying themselves. Across the galactic net, human soldiers posted videos and memes of the unfolding battle, their irreverent humor baffling the other species watching from afar. A viral clip featured a human pilot calmly sipping coffee as his ship evaded Zarek's fire, accompanied by the caption, "Another day at the office." The psychological impact of humanity's approach was as devastating as their weapons. The Zareks, who thrived on intimidation, found themselves demoralized. For every boastful claim they had made about their strength, humanity responded with laughter, turning their bluster into a joke. "Send reinforcements!" Vol barked, his voice cracking under the weight of his failure. But it was too late. The human fleet closed in, their coordinated strikes dismantling the Zarek's armada piece by piece. By the time the battle ended, only a handful of Zarek's ships remained functional, limping away into the void. The once mighty Dominion had been humbled, their reputation shattered. Back aboard the Resolute Horizon, Harlan addressed his crew with quiet pride. "Well done, everyone. The message is clear: humanity doesn't just survive, we excel." Meanwhile, Maria Kent delivered a broadcast to the Council, her tone laced with calm confidence. "The Zareks thought they could intimidate us, break us. Instead, they've learned a valuable lesson: underestimating humanity is a mistake you only make once." Her words echoed across the galaxy, leaving an indelible mark on the other species. While some viewed humanity with newfound respect, others began to fear the implications of their power. Yet for all their might, humanity's attitude remained curiously light-hearted. They celebrated their victory not with triumphalism, but with humor, sharing stories and jokes that reminded the galaxy of their resilience. The Zareks, on the other hand, retreated into the shadows to lick their wounds. Vol, once so confident in his dominance, now faced the grim reality of his defeat. His empire, so long built on fear, had been exposed as vulnerable. And in his darkest moments, he realized the bitter truth: the galaxy had changed, and humanity was now at the center of it. The aftermath of the battle left the galaxy in stunned silence. For millennia, the Zarek's dominion had been the embodiment of war, their name whispered with a mix of fear and reverence. Now they were a shattered force, their fleet reduced to wreckage scattered across the void. But the true shock wasn't just their defeat, it was the manner in which it had been delivered. The Council of Celestial Harmony, once the galaxy's cornerstone of authority, was struggling to reassert control. The realization that humanity had prepared for war on a scale no one had anticipated cast a long shadow over the assembly. Delegates from across the galaxy convened in emergency sessions, their discussions marked by unease and uncertainty. Maria Kent addressed the council with her characteristic poise, her expression unreadable. "We warned you," she began simply. "The Zareks broke the peace, and we dealt with them. Efficiently, decisively. Now the question is, what happens next?" The speaker, their crystalline form dimmed with worry, responded hesitantly. "Humanity's methods, they are unprecedented. Many among us fear what your species represents. If you possess such power, what's to stop you from becoming the next Zareks?" Maria tilted her head, her voice calm but firm. "Trust. That's what stops us. We didn't seek this fight. But we knew it would come eventually. The difference between us and the Zareks is simple: we don't conquer. We protect. We adapt. And we endure." Her words resonated with some delegates, while others remained skeptical. The Eltherian representative, a cautious and analytical species, leaned forward. "Your technology is extraordinary. Yet you've kept it hidden from the rest of us. Why? Maria didn't flinch. Because we understood the nature of this galaxy long before we joined the Council. Peace is fragile. It doesn't survive on good intentions alone. We prepared not to dominate but to survive. To ensure that when the day came, humanity wouldn't be caught unprepared. The room was silent, the weight of her statement sinking in. Then, from the far end of the chamber, a voice broke the tension. It was High Warlord Tarek Val, appearing as a holographic projection. The once proud leader now looked diminished, his features haggard and his tones subdued. I seek parley, he announced, his voice stripped of its former bravado. The Xerix Dominion acknowledges its defeat and requests terms of surrender. The declaration sent a ripple through the assembly. The Xerix, who had never before admitted defeat, were now humbled. Maria met Val's gaze through the projection, her expression unreadable. You thought we were weak, she said evenly. You thought the galaxy would tremble at your strength. And yet here we are. Val's jaw tightened, but he nodded. We underestimated you. It was a mistake we won't make again. Maria considered him for a moment before responding. Your surrender will be unconditional. The Xerix Dominion will dismantle its war machine, and submit to Council oversight. In exchange, humanity will ensure your survival. You'll learn what it means to exist in a galaxy without fear. Val hesitated, but he had no choice. We accept. The transmission ended, leaving the Council to grapple with the implications of what had just transpired. Humanity had not only defeated the Xerix but had effectively dictated the terms of peace, a role traditionally held by the Council itself. As the session concluded, delegates gathered in small groups, whispering among themselves. The Eltherian representative approached Maria, their translucent form glowing softly. Your actions today have reshaped the galaxy. Whether for better or worse, only time will tell. Maria smiled faintly. Change is never easy. But if the galaxy wants to survive, it has to evolve. We can't keep pretending peace is a shield. It's a choice, a fragile one. And sometimes it needs protecting. Later, aboard the Resolute Horizon, Admiral Harlan convened with his officers. The mood was one of quiet satisfaction. The battle had been won, but the war for the galaxy's future was far from over. We've shown the galaxy what we're capable of, Harlan said. Now we need to show them what we stand for. Strength isn't just about weapons, it's about knowing when to use them and when not to. The sentiment echoed across humanity's ranks. Soldiers and civilians alike celebrated their victory, but the underlying message was clear: this was not a conquest. It was a reminder that humanity, for all its power, sought coexistence over domination. Back on Earth, Maria delivered a final address, broadcast across the galactic network. Standing before the Council's emblem, she spoke with a mixture of gravity and hope. The galaxy has seen what humanity can do. But let me be clear, we are not here to rule. We're here to ensure that no species, no matter how powerful, can impose its will on the rest of us. The peace we fought for today isn't just for humanity, it's for everyone. And if that peace is threatened again, we'll be ready. Her words reverberated through the galaxy, igniting debates, fears, and aspirations. Some species sought alliances with humanity, eager to learn from their methods. Others grew wary, questioning what this newfound power would mean for the delicate balance of the galaxy. But for humanity, the message was simple. They had faced the storm and emerged stronger, their unity and resilience unshaken. As Maria watched the stars from her ship's observation deck, she allowed herself a rare moment of reflection. They thought peace made us soft, she murmured. All it did was give us time to sharpen our edge. And with that, humanity turned its gaze back to the stars, ready for whatever came next.